For this workout, I'm going to be using an optional bender ball, but we're just going to set it aside for the moment. All right, let's do this. Stepping feet hip-width distance apart, we're going to start to find a nice, easy squat. Reaching those arms out ahead of us, sinking the weight into the heels, making sure you can still see your toes. Good. Finding your range of motion. And start to move into our standing leg balance. So alternating knee to chest. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Feeling that heart rate start to climb, challenging that balance right off the bat. If you fall out of it, don't worry, just come right back in. Good. And now switching up the arms. Take those arms out to the side. Challenging a little bit of coordination there. See if you can lift a little taller each time you straighten that leg. And let's hold chair pose. Static hold. Sweep the arms behind you. We're coming back into that chair. Don't lift all the way up yet. And then can you sink it down a little lower? Melt that chest forward. Getting ready for alternating lunges. Stepping right foot forward and then the left. Good. Alternating right and then left, sinking it down as low as feels comfortable. You don't want to feel any pain in the knees. Good. So both knees bend here in this lunge. Stepping forward, forward. Good. Now adding a rotation. You're going to rotate towards the knee. Whoops, if you fall like I just did, just come right back into it. This is tough. We're really challenging our balance because we're throwing our vision off. Anytime you change your vision, that creates more of a balance challenge, so just do your best. Awesome. Whew. Anyone feeling warm? I know I am. And coming feet hip-width distance apart. Amazing. Curtsy lunges are next. We reach that back foot, bend both knees deeply, finding a nice rotation of your spine here, maybe peeking back over that right shoulder. Good job, you can do this. Now we're adding our plie into the curtsy squat. Plie into the curtsy squat. If the arms are throwing you off, just do whatever feels natural. Don't even worry about it. Good. Stepping nice and wide into your plie, back into that curtsy and hold, hold. Little pulses up and down. This is a burner. These are tough, but you're so much tougher. All right, hang with me here. These won't last forever. Good, come back towards center. Oh, and let's take it over to the other side. Good, so we're starting just with those curtsy lunges. Really working the sides of the seat, gluteus medius. Good. Now 3 more, and then we'll add the plie to the right. 2, 1, and get ready to step it out to your plie. Curtsy, plie, curtsy, plie. Keep it going. You've got this. Whew. Think of how strong you're getting in your lower body. Think of that great work you're doing to keep your heart healthy. You got this. Setting that tailbone down and hold. Little pulses up and down. This is all muscle. There's no bouncing. Super controlled, slow motion. Inner thighs are talking to ya. Woo! And let's take feet together. Ah, that feels good. All right, now if you have a bender ball, go ahead and take it. Otherwise, you can totally skip this part, but it adds a little extra oomph. Taking the ball between the thighs, we're gonna find our parallel squats. Good. So engaging the adductors by squeezing that ball, just a little bit of pressure in between those knees. You got it. Can you sink your weight a little bit lower if it's okay on those knees? Reaching arms forward for counterbalance. 10 toes are reaching forward. And can you come now halfway down and all the way up? Halfway down, all the way up. Just changing the range of motion just a little bit. Now we go all the way down and halfway up. Now this half is a little bit harder than that first half, but you can do it. Yeah, so we're never fully straightening the knees, and now we just hold 1-inch pulses. There it is. Oh yeah. You'll feel these in a couple of days. Keep it going. These are almost done. And static hold. The lower body stays exactly where it is. Arms come out in front, and we squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Woo! I'm telling ya, you got this. You're stronger than you know, and whew, let's just shake it out. Hallelujah, those are done. Setting that ball aside. Now I'm gonna face lengthwise on your mat. Giant step forward into a straight lunge, hinging forward at the waist, and we step into our crane pose. So we're repeating, left leg steps behind, left leg pulls into the chest. Go as slow as you need to for these. We'd rather have you do a few of them really well than to punch out a bunch of them that are in improper form. Good. Now the further forward you hinge from the waist, the more challenging you're going to have to work against gravity. Good. Keeping those biceps right next to the ears every time you reach. Yeah. Draw shoulders back away from the ears, and now we take our hands out to the side and lift, lift, lift. Oh my goodness. Make sure to keep that standing knee nice and bent. Deep single leg lunge here. You got it, and hold. Can we take little single leg squats here? You got this. You are so strong. Yes, we're almost done. Step it out. Woo! Reach it up overhead, touch those toes, shake that head out, yes and no. Awesome. Well, we've got another side to do. Reaching that back leg is straight. We hinge forward, drawing that knee in and reach. Lift, reach, lift. We inhale as we reach, we exhale as we bring it in. You got it. Can you give me a couple more? Whew. All right. Finishing out strong. Now we're going to shift the weight forward and get ready to lift. Lift, lift. Keeping that right hip squared down towards the mat. So we're not sending the kneecap towards the side of the room. We're pointing it straight down. Hands come to the hips and bend that standing leg and straighten. Bend, straighten, bend, straighten. Whew! Challenging your balance, your strength, your quads are burning. And step it in and fold it forward. Let it all go. Take a big inhale, sigh it out through the mouth, and roll on up. Now for this next one, you may choose to grab a prop, a makeshift type of bar, either a stool or a chair. And if so, that's going to make it a little bit easier as we take our standing leg lifts. Now, if you want to make it more difficult, you can do these directly on the ground. You can also increase the challenge by placing a bender ball underneath your hands, adding a little bit of instability between you and the ground. So picking your version here and lifting that leg up to the sky. Again, being careful to keep the belly button facing directly towards your mat. You're not opening that right hip. Good. A nice graceful point of that toe, perhaps. Keep that back nice and flat. Notice there's no rounding in the mid-back. And then we're gonna lift it halfway and lower it all the way. Lift it halfway, lower all the way. Good, this should be just a little bit easier than the one before. All right, we're taking it out of the top half. So we lift all the way, lower half, lift all the way, lower half. You got it. This is a small range of motion. You're keeping that hot leg as high as possible. All right, are you with me? We're gonna hold. We're gonna swing that leg side to side. Nice and slow and controlled. Whoops, if you pop out of it like I just did, come right back in. This is so challenging, especially if you're using a ball underneath the palms of your hands. Crazy balance challenge. Let's step it all in. Holy moly. That was fun. Awesome, good job. Well, we've got another side to do. So lining up, we're starting with that full range of motion. We take that leg all the way up and take it all the way down. Good. Remember to keep those hips square towards the mat. Back is long, back is flat, belly button's pulling in. We're keeping those hips squared off. Standing leg is super straight. You got it. Just lifting it sky high. And now we're going to transition to our halfway lift. So halfway off the ground and touch the floor. Halfway up and tap, 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 tap. All right, now you're ready to go high? Let's do it. And we raise it high, halfway down. Raise it all the way up, halfway down. We are almost done here. Just building up for that grand finale. We sweep the leg from 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You're keeping that leg on a flat plane. Hips are squared, belly buttons in, and step it in, release. All right, are you ready to have a little bit more fun with this bender ball? Now again, you can totally do this series without it. It's just gonna add a little more oomph. Now with that ball between the hamstring and the calf, we're gonna lift that toe straight up to the ceiling, and then we'll shift the weight forward through between the hands. You got it. So it's a lift, shift the weight forward, and squeeze that ball as though you were trying to reach it between the elbows. You got this. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Now taking the knee out to the side for our fire hydrants. We're just gonna lift that knee straight out to the side of the hip, giving that ball a little squeeze if you've got utilizing that bender ball. Oh, keeping the shoulders super still, activating in the obliques, and now taking it around for hip circles. Drawing a giant circle with that knee in one direction, keeping the torso still, and then reverse directions. Whew! That'll do it. And we're gonna take it back up to the sky now. 1-inch pulses up and down. Keep the belly button in, try to avoid arching your back. And now we squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That thigh stays still, we're just squeezing that ball in and release. Oh my goodness, stretch it out, find your child's pose. That should feel so good to come out of that one. But the bad news is we do have another side. So taking it down to that left leg, we got this though. This is gonna be fun. Come on. We're gonna point that toe up to the sky and then shift the weight through as we take the knee towards the front of the mat. Good. Inhale as you point that toe. Exhale as you crunch it through. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Make sure you're pulling your belly button in to avoid arching the back. Now we take it out to the side for our fire hydrants. And out. And in. And out. And in. Keep the waist, torso, and upper body super still here. You got this. Whew. And then let's take it out and around for our giant circles. Good. And reverse directions. 2, 3. We point all the way back up to the sky now for our 1-inch pulses. Up and down. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Squeezing that glute, pointing that toe, lifting in the belly, and now we just squeeze that ball in, in. Calf to hamstring, press, 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 and release. Ole mole. And finally coming down onto the ground. Congratulations. Let's stretch it out. So sending the right foot forward, crossing left over right. If you want a little more, you can bend that right shin in and stack your knees on top of each other. Gently leaning forward, hinging from the waist, enjoying how this feels. Releasing the piriformis. We worked our booties so hard. We want to make sure we give them a nice little stretch and release. Melting that chest forward, keeping the tailbone down on the ground. Nice, big, deep, relaxing breaths, and come on up. We'll switch around over to the other side. So crossing right over left now. An option to take that left shin in, stacking these on top of each other. Grow nice and tall before you start to hinge forward from the waist. Honoring your body for the work it just did. Cultivating a sense of gratitude for what your body is able to do. This beautiful miracle called to you. Taking legs wide now into a forward fold. Get nice and tall, hinging forward from the waist. We send our toes up to the sky as we melt that chest forward. Crown of the head reaches long. Releasing in those hamstrings. Taking some nice deep breaths, noticing your heart rate start to return to a nice, steady, even rhythm. Pressing yourself back up. We're gonna come to lie down on our mats. Coming into a supine figure 4 stretch or pigeon. Interlacing fingers either in front of that left shin or behind the hamstrings. You're gonna take the whole shape and pull it towards your chest, at the same time lengthening the tailbone towards the mat. Good. Gently release, and we'll take it over to the other side. Good. Exhaling out through the mouth. Big breath in. Rolling on up to seated. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart center. So that 2 more times, reaching up nice and tall. Once more. And giving yourself a round of applause for a job well done.